Hello friends, this video demonstrates how to send an email from the HTML form using either JSP or Java Servlet. So whatever the things that I am going to discuss, I will show you with a very small diagram. So there will be many situations while developing an application to send email during the registration form. The person who is registering the form will get an email after registration, the username or password. Some kind of intimation has to be sent to the mail. So it's very obvious, if you have any general purpose application, there will be a registration form. In that registration form, as soon as user fills the data, including the email address, user will be receiving a mail. So being an application developer, we should know how to send email from HTML. So in background there will be a Java JSP or a Servlet program which will be sending the message to the email address provided by the user. So in this video what we are going to do is very simple. We have a small HTML form where we will be writing the email to the person whom we are going to send, and a text message, we will be typing some message in it, and a submit button. As soon as we press the submit button, these two parameters will be sent to either JSP or Servlet. So in my example, I am going to use JSP. This JSP will get these two parameters using getParameter method. Okay. So here in application server, that means Tomcat, I am going to use Apache Tomcat application server. This JSP will use Java Mail API. Any standard edition of Java will not have Java Mail API. So we need to explicitly download Java Mail. How do we get a Java Mail? Is very simple. Just by including java x.mail.jar file and activation.jar file, these two jar files in Tomcat library, your JSP can interact with, will include all those packages and functions that are required for Java Mail API. Very simple. Two jar files. Anyhow, I'll show you those two jar files in Tomcat library. You have to remember these two jar files, java x.mail.jar file and activation.jar file. If any one of these two jar files are missing, then you will not able to send mail to the sender. Right. So in JSP page, we are going to set the following parameters. From address authentication. So the sender's username, password. Username and password both are important. And to address. That to address anyhow we got from HTML form. And we are going to use Gmail SMTP server. Imagining that we are using sender's address at the rate of gmail.com. Let's use Gmail SMTP. So what we are going to do is very simple. Without logging into our account, through our application, we are going to send some mails to the people, to two addresses. So we need an automatic service inbuilt. That automatic service is nothing but Gmail SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transport Protocol. It is just it acts like a host. We'll use some port number. The default port number is 587. Through which we can connect to Gmail SMTP. So Gmail SMTP will collect all the informations provided by JSP page, like to address, from address, user authentications, like a from address, user authentications. For an example, if I am sending any email to some person, then I should log on to my account first of all. So I should send my username as well as password. Okay. So there is one important point. Any low-level application which is trying to logging into the email, your Gmail or any other email service will protect them to not sign into the account, because there are some privacy issues. That's why make sure from the email account from which you are going to send the email, go to the settings and turn off that privacy kind of thing. It's very simple. Log in to your account from which you are going to send the emails to other people using an application. We are going to use a small application here. In case if you wanted to successfully see the execution means, you have to disable the privacy. because this application wants to interact with your account, and then from your account some mails will be sent to other people. So that's why we need to turn off the privacy. Go to as soon as you logged in, go to your account. There you can very easily find out, go to the privacy section, where you can very easily turn off that kind of thing which allows us to send mail from the application. Okay, but make sure you do not use your original email account. Okay, for your application purpose, you can create one sample Gmail account, turn off the privacy and test it. Okay, so it doesn't matter, because in this application we are providing username and password. These two can be very easily hacked by any other hacker. So it's very important to have a very unimportant email account. Okay, even if it is hacked, nothing happens to you. Okay, so maintain one duplicate account. And as soon as the authentication is successful, then your Gmail SMTP will sign into your account. It will enable your application to sign into your account. This is our email account from which we are going to send the emails, through which whatever the email address we have provided here, to that particular receiver will get that email. So from address email should be a Gmail account, and to address can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. So you should have a some sample Gmail account to do this experiment. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Now, before I get into the program, I'll show you Java x.mail.jar file and activation.jar file, and where you have to keep those two jar files and how to set Classpath. Okay, right. In my home directory, Apache Tomcat is available. In Apache Tomcat, in library, I already had these two files, Java x.mail.jar and activation.jar. Okay, these two are important. If you do not have these two, then you cannot have Java mail API in your program. So all the methods and classes that we are going to use cannot be executed, because they cannot find unless you add these two jar files in your Apache Tomcat library. It should be in lib folder only. Okay, right. Now we'll see our HTML form. This is a form where we are going to type the to address to whomever we are going to send some message, that particular person's email address, and some message. And as soon as I submit, that email should go. Okay, so as soon as I submit, it redirects. The request will be, I have written an action to that particular form. That form goes to this JSP page. I already told you that I am going to use JSP. This is email test.jsp. Okay, we'll have some look on this program. Here we are going to use these packages in JSP, Java x.mail and Java x.mail.internet. These two packages are from that jar file, whatever we have seen that jar file, Java x.mail.jar file and activation.jar file. Okay, those two jar files are important, because whatever the methods that we are going to use here are basically from these two packages, right? It's very simple. We are setting the from address, username and password, and here you can see that the username, the from address, I created one account to test this demonstration. Username and password. Using these credentials, I'll be logging into the account, and I'll send some message to the user. Okay. So here I did not write the password of this account because this application is already hosted in my Apache Tomcat, but you have to write it. I have just written some characters in order to protect my password, but this is not, you should not do like this. You have to write the password in text format. Okay, so the host is smtp.gmail.com. This is a place where our request will be redirected. smtp.gmail. So Gmail's SMTP will collect all the information provided by us, username, password, and authentication. After successful authentication, this message, here I'm using this one. Of course, I'm getting this message from the text box. Okay, so using request.get parameter, I'll display what are the message that I wanted to send to the user. Okay, finally this method transport.send this message, whatever the message that we wanted to send, finally we'll execute this method by sending a parameter called as message. This message was already set here. Okay, it's a very simple program. Okay, you can write this program using a simple Java program. In console also you can try to see the execution, and in case if you wanted to send to address and message from HTML in the HTTP format, then you should write a JSP like this, or you should write a Java servlet program. Okay, right. Make sure one thing, once after downloading these two jar files, you should keep it in library lib, this activation and java h.mail.jar file, to which you have to set the class path. So in my case, the class path is already available, it is already set. Sudo gedit. I'll show you the environment. In case of Windows, my computer, right click properties, environment variables, where you have to set the class path. In case of Ubuntu or Linux Mint, you should edit this environment file so as to set the class path. Okay, here is the place where I have already set the class path. You can see here java x.mail jar file and activation.jar file is already available. Okay, so in case if it is not set in class path, even though you have copied, and if you are unable to set class path, then probably your computer will not find those jar files. Okay, make sure after copying them in library folder, in Tomcat's library folder, you should set class path. Okay, right. Now let's see the execution. My Tomcat is already running. It is already running. So as soon as I provide to address, I wanted to send some message to this particular email address. This is mine. This is my original ID. Okay, but this application will use the cbitfis@gmail.com as from address. Okay, that we have already written in JSP page. This is test message. Okay. As soon as I press submit button, then this thing should be submitted to the to address. So I'll just show you. I have already deployed this application in web apps. So in this email test folder, the folder in which I have shown you the JSP, it is already deployed. So as soon as I press submit button here, then to this particular email address, this message will be sent. Okay, and afterwards we'll log into the account and I'll show you that this is test message, that particular email has received or not. I'll show you. Okay, so now actually it is redirected to JSP page, from which Gmail SMTP has collected our parameters and sent the mail successfully to the person bsatishcsc@gmail.com. Okay, right, message sent successfully. This is the last statement that I have used in JSP so as to make sure that our program has successfully executed. Now I'll open my account and see whether this email has come or not. This is my account. I'm trying to log into my account. I'll see. You see here, we have successfully done this one. cbitfis is the from address place where we have sent this mail. So I got this mail. Subject in the program I have written it as a test subject. This is a text message. Okay, so this is how we can send mails from the applications, not only to a single person, to multiple recipients we can send messages. I hope this video helps you in case you are developing any such application. Thank you.